Hello, you all. My name is Boost Studios, and today I'm going to be going on the top 5 favorite guns to use in Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3 is a pretty good game. Amazing gameplay, but story-wise, I find it okay. But my most favorite thing about Borderlands 3 are the guns, and there are a lot of guns that I really love using. So today, I'm going to tell you the top 10 my favorite guns in Borderlands 3. Now, just to let you all know, this is only my opinion, so if there's a gun that you don't like on this list, I apologize. But anyways, let's get started with the list. Number 10, the Redistributor. The Redistributor is a legendary Hyperion SMG that can only drop from Rotin the Invincible during the Malon takedown. Now, keep in mind, this gun is only good for mobbing. It's not really good against bosses, but it could deal a massive amount of damage to certain enemies if you gave it some really good class mods and some really good anointments and some good relics that can make it very powerful. But overall, this gun is really only good for mobbing, but it is a really fun gun to use. And it's a pretty good gun. It has a special ability where you can shoot some laser bullet that can basically deal a bit more damage. So it's not really a bad gun. You basically just need to make it so you can have it be powerful. But overall, it's a fun gun to use. Not really the best gun in this list, but it's worth to try it out. Number 9, the Needle Gun. The Needle Gun is a legendary T-tier SMG that can only draw from either a certain enemy or from the boss during the cartel event. Now, this gun is pretty good. It fires slow at first, but then when you fire faster, it starts to deal a lot of damage. And this gun could really dominate against certain enemies when you have really good class mods or relics with this thing. And this gun can come in any element too. And I forgot to mention that the Redistributor can come in with any element too. But the Needle Gun is a really good gun. And this gun is kind of rare to get, but when you get it, you'll probably be happy about it. But to get this thing, you either gotta kill the cartel event boss, or you just gotta kill that one certain enemy, or two certain enemies, to get either of them to drop this gun. But if you do manage to get this thing, it's a pretty good gun once you try it out. Number 8. The Breath of the Dying. The Breath of the Dying is a legendary dual assault rifle that can only come in corrosive element, and it can drop from any source loose source. This gun has a special ability when you kill an enemy, poison green looking balls can come out of the enemies, and then they can splash on the enemies or on the walls. But if they hit the enemies though, they can deal a massive amount of damage. Be careful, because you can kill yourself with this thing. If the balls hit a wall right when you're close to the wall, it can hurt you and you can end up in fight for your life. Or regardless, if you're really careful with this thing, it's a really amazing gun. As you can see, I did manage to down myself by accident with this thing, but then later on you can see me melting these enemies with no problem whatsoever. Very good assault rifle, and it's possibly really good for certain bosses as well. But it can drop from any sort of loose source, so I'm pretty sure if you kill some bosses, they might have a chance of dropping this thing. Very good gun. Definitely give it a shot. Number 7. The Crit. The Crit is a purple Malon SMG that you can only get it from tipping Moxie with a lot of money to a chance you can get it from the, social thingy. Wherever you can get it from. But you can get it from the social thingy if you tip Moxie enough money. You either can get this gun or you can get the other gun, which is assault rifle, which I forgot what it's called. But this gun originally appeared in Borderlands 2 on Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keeps DLC. Now, there was this one ability it had when you sometimes reload it, it can drop out of your hand, you have to pick it back up. This can be annoying, and just like its Borderlands 2 counterpart, this gun can do the exact same thing in BL3. Really amazing damage, but can slip out of your hand at a certain point. But BL2 version was, you gotta be a lot more careful, because if you loot this thing, if this thing drops out of your hand and it falls off the map, you can't get it back. But this thing is somewhat less forgiving because when it drops out of your hand and falls off the map, you can just go Sanctuary and then tip Moxie again and you can get another crit. Same as that. But just like its Borderlands 2 counterpart, it's a really good gun. Deals a lot of damage, but you just gotta worry about it when it drops out of your hand. But if it drops out of your hand, you can just pick it back up, no worries. But really good gun, definitely get this thing, it is awesome. Number 6, the Butcher. The Butcher is a legendary Hyperion shotgun that can draw from any sort of loot source. So if you're farming certain bosses, you can easily get this thing. But this gun has a really cool ability when you can just keep spraying the shit out of it non-stop, and you can still just keep firing because it keeps refreshing bullets non-stop in one magazine. So pretty much like its Borderlands 2 counterpart. Like its Borderlands 2 counterpart, this gun is really amazing. It's really overpowered. Definitely get this thing and use it when you get the time to do so. Alright, now we're heading to the top 5 favorite guns that I love to use in Borderlands 3. So here we go. Number 5 is personally one of my favorite doll SMGs to use in this game, the Kozen. The Kozen is a legendary doll SMG that can only draw from Captain Trant only during a Mayhem 6 or higher. But during the time when the update came out and when this gun was released, this gun was pretty OP, but then it got nerfed, but then it got buffed again. But this gun is really good though. Basically, it shoots bullets that stick in enemies, and then the bullets explode doing more damage. So when you have certain really good class mods or certain really good relics, this thing can fucking melt really fast. And it can even melt certain bosses too. Really, I tested this thing on Captain Trant himself, and he fucking got melted by the Kozen. So this gun is really OP, and it's really fun to use. You really think about it. Fun gun. Definitely fucking farm for this damn thing, but only a Mayhem 6 or higher. But definitely recommend Mayhem 11 for this one though. Number 4, the OPQ System. This is possibly one of my favorite assault rifles to use in Borderlands 3. It's a legendary Atlas assault rifle that can only drop from either the cartel event boss or a certain enemy that can drop this thing. So basically you're gonna have to activate the cartel event in order to farm for this thing. But overall, this gun can deal a lot of damage and massive amount of damage. It also has a special ability where you can shoot out a drone version of itself and it acts like a drone and it shoots bullets at the enemies. Can also deal some damage to them. So this could be really helpful in certain situations. Plus, it's more OP with certain class mods that has really good stats and certain relics that have good stats. But sadly, this gun does not come out with an element, so you definitely gotta be aware of that. But you can still do really well with this thing regardless. So definitely farm this thing. Really good gun. Number 3, the NoPew. A legendary COV assault rifle that can drop either from the cartel event boss or from a certain enemy in this event. But yeah, this is a COV legendary assault rifle, which by the way, very overpowered. Basically, this gun can fire slow at first, but then it fires faster when you keep holding the trigger. And as for a COV assault rifle, this is probably one of the best assault rifles that comes out of COV. But again, you gotta farm the cartel boss or a certain cartel event enemy to order for this thing to drop. Now, this thing can come in and only in fire element, but can also come out with times 3 damage and times 4 damage. Really amazing gun. Definitely farm for this thing. Number 2, the Tizzy. The Tizzy is a legendary COV pistol that can only drop from those big chests during the arms race, while in the arms race DLC. But if you have the arms race DLC installed in this game, and if you farm one of the mini raid bosses in one of the trials, he can definitely get this as a dedicated drop. As you can see, I'm using this fire one, which I got from one of the mini raid bosses during the event thingy. And as you can see, this thing absolutely melts. Basically, it fires slow at first, but then it starts melting every single enemy. This gun is pretty good for bosses too. I used it on Tron on fire, and it freaking melted him. But to get this thing, you either gotta farm for that raid mini boss, or you can get this thing in arms race. Which, by the way, I tried to get that thing before, but it's so hard to get. Number 1, the Sanhok. The Sanhok is probably the most overpowered gun in this entire game. So basically, this is a legendary sniper rifle doll that can only drop from Katagawa Jr. only from Mayhem 6 or higher. So this gun originally first appeared in Captain Scarlet DLC in Borderlands 2, which in Borderlands 2 it was a doll SMG. But in Borderlands 3, during one of the updates of the new Mayhem weapons being added in and the new Mayhems being in there, like Mayhem 6, Mayhem 10 and all that, the Sanhok was brought back as a dual sniper rifle. And it's just as more OP, just like its original counterpart. But like I said, you can only get this thing drop off from Katagawa Jr. only from Mayhem 6 or higher. But you do get this thing, it is OP, especially against bosses. Any sort of boss you can really think of. And it can come in any element too. Alright, that is all the guns I had to show you on this list. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And make sure to comment down below which gun is your favorite in this list. If you feel like it. You don't have to, but if you want, you can post a comment down below to which gun's your favorite. But anyways, I will see you in the next video.